CNN10 script, Monday, February 10th, 2025, script 113. Season's most significant storm yet. January 6th, 2025. Listen and repeat.
What's up, sunshine?
What's up, sunshine? Happy New Year. I'm Koi Wire. And I'm pumped to be back with you.
Hope you're off to an awesome start.
Hope you're off to an awesome start to 2025.
Mr. Miller's class
at St. Francis Xavier School in Fort Myers, Florida.
All my clips in Miss
Orr's class, Columbiana, Ohio,
and
Mrs. Lester and crew at Green Charter School in Greenville, South Carolina. Rise up.
Thank
you to all of you who've kept in touch on social media over the holidays.
We're so grateful
you chose to spend part of your day with us right here on CNN10. New Year, new show, let's go.
We start with a
massive winter storm that's affected millions of people in the U.S. since Saturday. The storm unleashed a mix of heavy snow, treacherous ice, rain, and severe thunderstorms across an enormous 1,500 miles swath of the country from the plains to the east coast.
The powerful storm
moved on an eastern path.
It unleashed
the mean tree massed into the Mississippi Valley and parts of the Midwest by Sunday morning, before moving on to the Ohio Valley and East Coast.
Parts of Kansas and Missouri
were pounded with blizzard conditions, getting wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and several inches of snow. Visibility dropped to near zero during the storm, making driving or getting around nearly impossible.
Meanwhile, areas
just south of the heaviest snow faced dangerous ice conditions.
The Weather
Service discouraged any travel in southern Illinois, western Kentucky, and southeast Missouri, where roads, bridges, and overpasses are likely to become slick and hazardous.
And this massive winter
storm is sparing warmer areas in the south,
where it brought
thunderstorms and heavy rain to parts of Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi.
Governors of
several states declared a state of emergency or state of preparedness before the storm, so they could be ready to clear roads and deal with power outages that the storm left in its wake.
We hope all of you
in the storm's path are safe and warm as it passes through.
This week,
the nation will pay its respects to former U.S. President Jimmy Carter with a National Day of Mourning on Thursday.
President Carter
passed away on December 29th at his home in Plains, Georgia, at the age of 100. He was the longest-lived president in U.S. history. Over the weekend, Carter's motorcade traveled through planes before arriving in Atlanta for a service at the Carter Presidential Center, where the former president will lie in repose until Tuesday morning. The former president will then lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda in Washington, D.C. until the funeral service at the Washington National Cathedral on Thursday morning.
Following the service, the late
president and his family will travel back to Carter's hometown in Georgia for a private funeral service and burial. CNN's Wolf Blitzer has more on the life and legacy of the 39th President of the United States. We just want the truth
Jimmy
again.
Carter was elected president
Jimmy Carter was elected president barely 2 years after the law-breaking and cover-ups of the Watergate scandal forced President Richard Nixon to resign.
His
candor
seemed
like a breath of fresh air. There is a fear that
our
best years are behind us.
But
I say to you that our nation's best
is still
ahead.
James Earl Carter
was born on October 1st, 1924. His father ran an agricultural supply store in Plains, Georgia. His mother was a nurse.
He was
smart enough and tough enough to receive an appointment to the U.S. Naval Academy.
Just after
graduation in 1946, he married Rosalind Smith. His naval career took him from battleships to the nuclear submarine program. But when his father died in 1953,
he left the
military and returned to Georgia, where he spent the next 2 decades running the family peanut farm business and slowly and steadily beginning a political career that saw him elected governor of Georgia in 1970. My name is Jimmy Carter and I'm running for president.
In
In 1976, the former Georgia governor went from being Jimmy Who to the White House.
Not everyone
in Washington was happy to see him.
Early on,
Carter was accused of presidential micromanaging, of excessive attention to detail.
That mastery of
details
enabled Carter to
negotiate the Camp David peace accords,
a deal between
Egypt and Israel
that led to a peace
treaty
ending
decades of war
between their
countries.
His most difficult presidential days
came after Iranian military took dozens of Americans hostage in Tehran
in late
in late 1979.
They were held for
444 days,
and 8
U.S. servicemen died after President Carter ordered an elaborate rescue attempt that failed. The Iran hostage crisis was only one of the challenges that confronted President Carter.
He and Rosalind
founded the Carter Center in part to promote peace, democracy, human rights, as well as economic and social development all over the world.
Carter
monitored elections for fairness. He went to North Korea and Cuba and met with leaders usually shunned by the U.S., including representatives of Hamas, the Palestinian organization. Both the U.S. and Israel have branded as terrorists.
In autumn of 2002,
Carter was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, the culmination of an incredible career as a world leader and as a citizen. I'm delighted and humbled and very grateful that the Nobel Peace Prize Committee has given me this recognition.
He still
wasn't done.
Carter
remained active into his 90s, traveling, writing books,
building
habitat for humanity homes, husband, statesman,
a connection to an
era now gone.
Jimmy Carter was
a defender of values forever current.
It's 10-second trivia.
It's 10-second trivia time.
The
geological time period divided into the
Triassic,
Jurassic, and Cretaceous period
is known as what?
It's known as
era?
what era?
Precambrian,
Precambrian,
Paleozoic,
Paleozoic,
Mesozoic,
or
Cenozoic.
Cenozoic.
Ding ding.
Ding ding.
Mesozoic era.
Mesozoic era is your answer, also known as the age of dinosaurs that lasted between 252 and 66 million years ago. Researchers say they have made a major discovery straight out of the Mesozoic era. Hundreds of dinosaur tracks that are around 166 million years old.
Let's go to
the UK, where our Samantha Lindell takes us to the site of the dig as scientists work to preserve the tracks and tell us what they have learned about the giants that left their marks so long ago.
The footprints you're seeing now
are 166 million years ago.
Researchers
are 166 million years old.
Researchers
say it's the most important discovery of dinosaur tracks in the UK for over 25 years.
So these footprints
we're talking about are
100
million years older
than Tyrannosaurus.
than Tyrannosaurus Rex,
Which is
mind-blowing.
5 tracks made of
approximately 200 dinosaur footprints were discovered in 2023 by chance at the working quarry. Quarry worker Gary Johnson was removing some of the mud from the limestone floor and suddenly realized he was hitting these sort of hummocks.
40 dinosaur tracks were
first found in this area in the 1990s. So the quarry contacted the Oxford University Museum of Natural History to investigate.
So over 7
days, we coordinated 100 people to excavate these footprints, and what we uncovered was just incredible. The footprints at the site are from at least 2 different types of dinosaur. A huge herbivorous dinosaur called a sauropod. Those are the ones with the very long necks and the very long tails, like Brachiosaurus or Brontosaurus. Those footprints are 90 centimeters long, or the largest ones. The other type of track, the fifth track, was made by a carnivorous dinosaur called Megalosaurus.
So the great
thing about what we call trace fossils is that it shows us dinosaur behavior. We've calculated the speeds they were walking, and they were walking at the same speed. They were both walking at about 3 miles per hour, and that's actually the same speed of an average adult human.
The trackways lie across the
working quarry, so they're not safe for the public to visit.
But
scientists are figuring out how to preserve them so that people can see the dinosaur footprints in the future.
Today's story getting a 10
out of 10, having a slumber party in a submarine.
The
Wisconsin Maritime Museum took a resort 1940s World War II submarine and turned it into a bona fide Airbnb rental. You and up to 65 people can book a bunk on the USS
complete with
a private tour
and
breakfast in the morning.
The
funds will help the museum's efforts to preserve and maintain the historic submarine. Would you dive into this B&B with some friends and make a splash, or just keep it on the down low? Apologies if you find my jokes subpar and underwhelming.
Good thing is you
don't have to let them sink in. They're not that deep.
Superstars.
Alright, Superstars, Big Ball 2025 shout out is going to
John
Deering Middle School in West Warwick, Rhode Island.
We see you,
Wizards.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Thank you to all of you for subscribing and commenting on our CNN10 YouTube channel for our shout out requests. Let's kick this year off with some vigor and some passion. You're more powerful than you know, and I'm so happy to be back with you.
I'll be right back
here tomorrow on CNN10.